Think about the last time your power went out. Maybe a storm, maybe a blown transformer down the street. You probably grabbed your phone, checked the outage map, and waited. An hour later, lights back on. No problem. Now remove the lights back on part permanently. The grid doesn't recover. The outage map stops updating. Your phone hits 12% and there's nothing to charge it with. The refrigerator's silent. The street outside is dark. And somewhere about 6 blocks away, a gas station just ran out of fuel, with 200 people still in line. That's hour 4. By hour 48, 6 specific types of neighborhoods in your city will have already crossed the line that doesn't uncross. Not the poorest neighborhoods, not the most remote. 6 specific structural types that researchers, emergency planners, and post-disaster analysts have identified again and again in every major grid failure, in every country, on every continent where the lights went out and didn't come back fast enough. I'm going to show you exactly which neighborhoods they are, how to identify them on a map, why they collapse first, and what the window looks like before they do, because that window is shorter than anyone tells you. And here's the part nobody says out loud. One of these neighborhoods might be yours. System explanation. Before the countdown, you need to understand the framework. Otherwise, this is just a fear list, and fear lists don't keep anyone alive. We built this analysis on 4 data sources. First, FEMA's post-incident behavioral studies from major grid failures, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Maria, the 2003 Northeast blackout, the 2021 Texas freeze, real events, real collapse timelines, real documented behavior. Second, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security's Infrastructure Vulnerability Research, academic, peer-reviewed, not a blog. Third, Rand Corporation's Civil Unrest Modeling, the same organization that advises the Department of Defense on population behavior under resource scarcity. Fourth, field documentation from urban survival researchers who embedded in affected zones during and after collapse events. Not theory, observation. 4 sources, cross-referenced, filtered through one question. Which neighborhoods go first and why? The answer comes down to 4 variables we tracked for every neighborhood type. Variable 1, population density. How many people are competing for the same limited resources in the same small space? Variable 2, resource dependency ratio. What percentage of residents have 0 capacity for self-sufficiency? No stored food, no water, no alternative heat, completely dependent on systems that just stopped working. Variable 3, social cohesion index. Do people on the street know each other, trust each other, have any history of collective action, or are they strangers who have never made eye contact in 3 years of living 40 feet apart? Variable 4, exit capacity. Can people leave? Do they have cars? Do they have somewhere to go? Or are they locked in by geography, poverty, or dependency? Low cohesion, high density, high dependency, low exit capacity. That combination in any neighborhood, at any income level, is a pressure cooker. And 48 hours without power is all it takes to find the lid. 6 neighborhoods. Countdown from 6 to 1. Number 1 is the one that surprises people most. Countdown. Number 6, the tourist district. This one surprises people. Not the slums, not the abandoned industrial zones, the tourist district. Downtown entertainment corridors, hotel rows, convention center neighborhoods. The parts of your city that look the most functional, the most modern, the most resourced. Here's the structural problem. Tourist districts are designed for maximum throughput and 0 permanence. Hotels hold thousands of guests who have no car, no local connections, no knowledge of the city beyond the 3 blocks between their hotel and the restaurant they booked. Their key cards stop working. Think about that for a second. They're locked out of their rooms or locked inside them, depending on the door mechanism. The hotel restaurant has maybe 18 hours of food under refrigeration before spoilage decisions have to be made. The lobby fills. Management has no protocol for this. The script they trained on was for fire drills and noise complaints, not for 200 stranded guests with dead phones asking where the nearest grocery store is. The nearest grocery store is 4 miles away. And the staff, the people running the hotel, most of them commute in. When the grid drops, they leave. They go home to their families. By hour 12, a tourist district hotel is a building full of strangers with no food, no information, no leadership, and no exit plan. The documented pattern from the 2003 Northeast blackout and Hurricane Sandy aftermath is consistent. Tourist zones don't become violent immediately. They become chaotic. Crowds form at the wrong places. Misinformation spreads faster than accurate information. And chaos, given enough time and hunger, graduates. If you live adjacent to a tourist corridor, within half a mile, you're in the blast radius of that chaos without being inside it. That's number 6, and that's the best case. Number 5, high-rise residential towers. Elevators run on electricity. That sentence ends careers for urban planners who built vertical cities without thinking it through. A 40-story residential tower with 800 units holds approximately 1,200 to 2,000 residents when you account for average household size. When the grid drops, every single one of them is trapped above the ground floor, unless they're willing to walk down and eventually up multiple flights of stairs. Elderly residents on floor 32 are not walking down 32 flights. They're simply not. Water pressure in high-rises is maintained by electric pumps. No electricity, no water pressure above roughly the 6th floor. Toilets stop flushing. Taps run dry. Within 24 hours, the upper floors of a residential tower have no water access at all. The documented response, from Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, from the 2021 Texas freeze and Houston high-rises, from post-earthquake situations in urban Japan, is migration. Residents descend. They have to. They concentrate in lobbies, in parking garages, in the surrounding street level. Thousands of people from a single building, suddenly competing for street-level resources. The social dynamic shifts fast. High-rise towers have another structural problem: anonymity. A building with 800 units has residents who have lived there for years and never learned a single neighbor's name. No social trust means no cooperation. No cooperation means no collective resource management. No collective resource management means the person who got to the lobby vending machine first cleaned it out, and the person who arrived an hour later gets nothing. The RAND civil unrest modeling is specific on this point. Vertical density without social cohesion is one of the highest risk combinations in any grid-down scenario. If you live in a high-rise, your personal timeline is different from everyone else's. Your water problem starts at hour 6. Your exit problem starts at hour 1. Your neighbor problem starts the moment someone realizes there are 1,200 people and one working flashlight between them. Plan accordingly, or plan to leave before that math completes itself. Number 4. Suburban cul-de-sacs with single exit roads. This one is counterintuitive. Suburban neighborhoods feel safe, spread out, quiet, yards, space, distance from the density problems of the city. But there's a design flaw built into a specific type of suburban development that turns safety into a trap: the single exit cul-de-sac cluster. Subdivisions built with one road in and one road out, sometimes two, surrounded by retained walls, drainage ditches, or adjacent private land that makes cross-country exit impossible. Hundreds of homes, one exit point. When panic sets in, and documented evidence from every major grid failure shows panic sets in between hours 18 and 36, everyone in that subdivision tries to leave through the same point simultaneously. In the 2021 Texas freeze, multiple suburban neighborhoods experienced complete road gridlock within the subdivision itself as residents attempted simultaneous evacuation. People ran out of gas sitting in traffic 400 meters from their own driveway. Now add a second variable, the resource dependency problem. Suburban cul-de-sacs built in the last 30 years were designed around complete grid dependency. Every house has electric appliances. Many have electric heating, natural gas lines in some areas, but the pressure is maintained by electric pumps at distribution stations. The well-stocked prepper in house number 14 is now visible. Lights on, generator humming, smell of cooked food drifting across a block where everyone else is sitting in cold, dark houses. The Johns Hopkins research is explicit on this dynamic. Visible resource disparity in high-proximity environments with no exit option is one of the fastest documented paths to neighbor-on-neighbor conflict in grid-down scenarios. You don't have to be the unprepared one for this to be your problem. You just have to live next to someone who is. The exit road is blocked. The resources are unequal. The timeline? It's 36 hours. That's number 4, and that's the best case. Number 3, urban food desert zones. Here's where the data gets uncomfortable. A food desert, by federal definition, is an area where residents live more than 1 mile from a supermarket in an urban area. More than 19 million Americans live in food deserts right now, today, before any disaster. These neighborhoods have already been operating in a state of resource scarcity before the grid drops. The average household in a documented food desert maintains approximately 2 to 3 days of food in the home. Not because they're irresponsible, because they're purchasing small quantities frequently, often relying on corner stores and fast food, because a supermarket requires a car or a bus ride they may not have access to. Remove the bus, remove the corner store's refrigeration,